You read the title, you know what you're here for. Over the years, Final Fantasy XIV content creation has been a bit stale, if not dead, for the most part. And it begs the question of, does Final Fantasy XIV content creation suck? Well, the short answer is yes. The long answer is quite the cake to chew on. If you were to look at any of the contents that are available on YouTube, you'd most probably find the same exact thing. Guides that cover jobs, trials, raids, and other pieces of content. Item showcases such as gear sets, weapons, mounts, and so on. And the most important piece of content, the original soundtrack of the game. Now, at face value, this all doesn't seem enticing to the viewer. There is nothing exciting about watching a guide. You're there to consume knowledge someone has put out for you, and then fuck off immediately. When looking at item showcases, you're simply seeing what you could have instead. As for music, you go on the internet because it's not available on Spotify. Fucking give it up, Soken. So the only thing that content creators have apart from the rest is personality. But that is where everything falls apart. See, comedy nowadays is very prickly, especially in the 14 community. If we were to make a glamour competition the way Asmongold does his transmog competition, we'd be banned.
Oh, look at this. It's the wrong fucking belt. It came from Naxxramas 25. This looks like trash. It looks like you have a graphics card so shitty it only rendered half of the game and it's not done rendering your belt.
So you can't really go around saying, boy, you smell like Jack Sparrow without the Sauvage advertisement. Your skill in this game is equivalent to how cardboard tastes. Your McCote got fucked more times than Lisa's character arc. The glamour I got can pull bitches. The only thing you can pull are restraining orders. You get the idea. It begs the question of, is it worth making funny, edgy jokes to please an audience for a chance to get your entire account fucked in the ass? To be honest, maybe. Why not? Some people will laugh it off, but others can be extremely sensitive and report you for harassment. So yeah, you better watch your mouth, bucko. But surely there are more reasons to it than just that, right? Well, of course. See, Final Fantasy XIV is a game that doesn't really take any risks. Most jobs, like tanks and healers, are nearly carbon copies of each other. Jobs used to have some wacky interactions that made things feel fresh and strategized. For example, Ninja was helpful with threat management. Bard's dots were buffed by Dragoon's battle litany. Now, these things were taken away because the developers would want to make every job viable. And obviously, it's easier to balance. But it takes away from the risk factor that can be given to players, such as taking a class or character that's sucks in a game and making them work. That is what a lot of content creators are known for. Similar to how speedrunners take a game, make it difficult, but show it's possible to beat it in under 10 minutes or less. And with how everything has already been discussed to death, such as the world first incident or G-Shade malware bra moment, there's nothing much for content creators to work with. You either speculate what is about to come in the next big patch, talk about recent dramas or updates, or bringing up topics with hot takes to stir up a crowd. Speaking of stirring up a crowd, third-party tools is something that everyone knows to be a big bad when it comes to the developers, and because of it, it holds creativity. Imagine a creator being able to retexturize and upscale character models or something similar to how Tom Keck does it for World of Warcraft, or people creating their own stories, their own characters with unique designs and animations that stretch further from the vanilla limitations we possess. It does not matter what I say about third-party tools. The developers are free to make their own rules for their own game, but it doesn't mean it's absolute. And with the right tools in hand, a person can possibly make an interesting challenge run that will make the content look more fun to watch. Speaking of which, shaders have the ability to handicap players to make runs more difficult, and shaders are technically the only third-party tool that is accepted in Squeenix's eyes, and yet it's still a third-party tool, so it's bannable? But wouldn't it be fun to watch someone try to clear something difficult by making it even more difficult for themselves? I don't know, I guess we need to figure that one out. The content itself is pretty boring to watch. Some, if not a good portion of people, enjoy watching the world first race because it feels like you're watching a film, rooting for the team to reach first place and sitting anxiously waiting to see who wins. It's a story that has a strong concluding end, and an especially strong ending when an offline team claims world first but gets their footage leaked to the public. But it's a very inflated in-between filler because of prog. Seeing teams wipe over 100 times might be a bit tiresome to watch for 8 whole hours. Hence comes the part of personality. But how can you show that personality when you need to focus on the raid? That's the neat part. You don't. The last point I will make is the fact that the Final Fantasy XIV community usually shits on anyone that makes video content. I'm not entirely sure why. Probably because of the basic idea of self-promotion here and there. Some of the more popular videos I have worked on that have been advertised through Reddit usually got downvoted to oblivion. It made me wonder if it's because my content was bad, but seeing how the videos performed says otherwise. And throughout my ride, I have experimented a lot with guide-like videos, tier lists, stories, and things that I am passionate passionate about, you can see where the line of mediocrity and creativity fall. And you can also see the ratios between success rates. It makes me ask the question of, why would I make something that people wouldn't want to watch? Why would I waste hours and effort trying to create something nearly never seen before, reinventing the wheel to suit what I think is good content that does not appeal to a large audience? And that is what content creators will think about. They wouldn't want to take the risk of being more free and creative with the content they make, so they stick to what they know and what will work. In the end, I think I can speak for everyone when I say the TLDR of this all is just that Final Fantasy XIV is a game you play and not one you watch. And if it is a game that you watch and not play, it's because you enjoy watching people do content that you don't see yourself doing. And that is quite alright. Thank you for watching. If you agree or disagree with the points that I made, I would love to hear it in the comments down below. It would help the channel a lot if you liked and subscribed. But with that being said, have a wonderful rest of your day or night wherever you are from. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.